Okay, Brad, you just had an insight that I thought was really useful, and you describing our arc process of going from the intuitionistic to the calculative and back, and how we're reforming. So could you please repeat what you just said, because it was brilliant in the context of religion?
Okay, so as we refine our logics, languages, and grammars and understand first principles in a scientific way, and then reflect backwards up the chain of inflationary logics, languages, and grammars, we create, as from graduate school back to
Kindergarten,
preschool,
preschool, yeah.
and generate cadres of people to teach people further inflated towards that regressive, increasingly primitive.
Right. So I was trying to say, how do we get more to an Aquinian? In other words, the church's mandate of the moral actor, right, rather than the political actor. The
Right.
church's mandate of producing the moral actor is more important and certainly far superior to the Marxist Academy's attempt to produce a political activist. Because that political activist is actually trying to undermine that moral individual. So is there a way to start with someone like Aquinas and look at that work? Or maybe it's more than Aquinas, right? Maybe it's Augustine and Aquinas, and revisit that so that it's the deliver under God moral, deliver under Caesar state, or political, as you can put that together. Because I mean, Aquinas really solves the problem in that, well, if it's science, that's just God, right? And we were wrong. Right?
No, we claim victory.
Well, we claim victory.
We claim victory for the church because we've become victor over our own nature, because we now integrated it into the sciences in an evolutionary sense. So Darwin was right, and we were right all along. We just didn't understand ourselves to be right, and that was an error.
Yes. So the church could claim, because it's very, once you understand that, the 5 principles of Christianity they're just the solution to the problem of the prisoner's dilemma of social cooperation scale. And Christianity is going to produce a higher trust, more cooperative population than more, because it's basically you're holding we say you're taking extraordinary responsibility for not producing retaliation cycles, right? And so that's an extraordinary via negativa, right, strategy that's embedded in a bunch of via positiva statements, like the first principle of Christianity is the extension of kinship love to non-kin, right? Basically to everyone. Well, I mean, that's actually the answer. It's just really effing hard to do that, right? To train humans to do that. And it's hard unless you have the social construction produced by everybody doing that. It's very hard to maintain the burden of it, but it does work, right? Right. So the reduction of the elimination of hatred from the human heart, right, is the second one, right? Which is evident. It's like what I'm telling you, it's like the Russians are not being very Christian right now, right? In their treatment of the Muslims are never Christian. They're brutal people, right? Hatred is part of their motivating force. I won't go into the other 3 principles, but if you have those 2 principles, you understand that you're basically producing a high trust society by bearing the cost, or what our good friend Luke would say, forbearance, making an investment in creating reciprocal trust, because you will not take advantage of someone else. You just won't do it. And there's too much advantage in not taking advantage of other people. especially when you don't have much, right? Except your physical bodily resources, whatever emotions and gifts you were born with. Anyway, so I really liked your insight there, and I wanted to capture it in this little recording. So this is a short one. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave comments, and tell Brad he's charming. All right.